Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about why you need to act as if you are the person that you want to become. Now, what this means is, say a person is struggling with sin. Well, there's some reasons for that. First, make sure, obviously, you're in the faith. Examine yourself, see whether you be in the faith or not. Because if you're not born again, you're going to struggle with sin. That's just the way it is. But if you become a new creature in Christ, why would there be that struggle? Well, here's one of the main things that goes on is people go to churches where they're told day in and day out that they can't stop sinning. There's even whole doctrines and dogma about you can't stop sinning every day in thought, word, or deed. They hear preachers and pastors and leaders talk about the sins they committed over the week, and they laugh about it. They make jokes about it. So you're being indoctrinated into sin. You're being indoctrinated into believing that there's no power in God's grace. There's no victory in this life. That he who the Son sets free is not free indeed. That's what they tell you. And so if you're listening to that, of course, your faith is for committing more sin. But start acting like the person. Think of it this way. This is not about telling anybody else anything or whatever. This is about how you carry yourself. So act like that person. Act like a person that walks a holy life, that lives a holy life, that does holy things, that doesn't sin. Start being more thoughtful about your actions. If you're about to do something or say something to someone that you know is wrong, out of your mouth is proceeding blessing and cursing, stop. Be more thoughtful about your actions. Be more thoughtful about your words before you speak. There's no shame in taking a little bit longer to respond to something instead of responding in anger, just blurting something out and committing a sin. So make sure that you are tuned into God's grace, and His grace is sufficient for you. You can absolutely walk free from sin. Jesus said it plainly. Go read John chapter 8. But stop believing for a sinful life. Stop believing for sinful behavior. What about if you want to be a millionaire or a billionaire even? Well, start acting like that person. How would that person act? Now you may say, I don't know, I've never been a millionaire. And that's a good point. But here's what you could do. It's not about being exactly like somebody else. How would you act if you right now had $20 million in the bank? You had no debts, everything's paid for. How would you now act? Then start behaving like that. Because there are a wide assortment of people who have millions of dollars, even billions of dollars. They're not all the same. Now, they have a lot of similar characteristics as far as how they believe and a lot of the practices they implement, the diligence about their labors and how they're not very risk averse. So there are a lot of things that are in common, but you can be your own unique person just like you are now, except you have more money. Now, how would you behave? Now, I have to be clear about this. This is not so you can go tell other people, I got 20 million in the bank. This is not, has nothing to do with other people or telling them anything about yourself. This is about how you carry yourself. You put yourself in that vibrational position to be that person. It does not also mean that in this behavior, this practice you're doing in faith, that you go start spending money you don't have. Putting stuff on credit because I'm a millionaire, I would do this, I would buy this stuff. Now, you may find that actually a lot of millionaires and billionaires don't buy a whole lot of stuff. Some of them do, of course, but many don't. Some don't buy much of anything. I know one man we were talking, he has many millions of dollars and a number of businesses, and he was recalling about how in the past few days, he'd only used about $10 on himself. So don't think that what the movies have presented, these lavish lifestyles and just spending money left and right, that's what it means to be a millionaire. It could mean that for you, but become that person. Live that behavior of being the person who's not afraid to take a risk, being the person who's not trying to use coupons in the store to save a few cents. And you can use coupons, it's fine, but my point is, Is that what you would do as a millionaire? You'd sit down and cut out coupons to save 25 cents? Maybe you would, and if you would, that's all right. But you probably wouldn't, because your time would be more valuable. You would look at things differently and say, me sitting down and looking through all these coupons, spending 20 minutes looking through all these coupons to save a few dollars, that's a waste of my time. My time's more valuable than that. I would be better off putting that same time into a project in my business, because that will make me tremendously more money than I would be saving, and I'm not wasting my time. So start approaching things that way. What about if you're not physically fit? You're overweight. You're lacking energy. How would a person who is physically fit behave? The person you want to become. Well, one thing you can do is you can literally get a picture off the internet of somebody who matches the body style that you want to have, meaning your same skin tone and basic frame structure and everything like that. And then literally just copy and paste your face onto that image and print it up. So it looks like, you don't have to be perfect. But obviously if your body's black, you don't get a white body and then put your face on that. That makes no sense. So make sure it matches you and looks as close to being like you as possible. So if you're pale, look up people who are pale and get something that looks closest to you, put your face on that, and use that as a visionary tool to see yourself as the fit person that you want to be. But then how do you behave in life? I know a number of fit people. I'm fit myself. I'm healthy. I'm blessed of the Lord. I'm the healed and the whole of the Lord. And one of the things is, when I go to the store and I see something, that would sure be good to eat, but I don't need those excess calories. So I don't get the vegan ice cream that I would like to get because I don't really need that. Maybe once a month I would, as a treat, but that's going to be it. And that's going to be very, very rare, and probably wouldn't even do that. But I approach eating differently. Eating is for sustenance. It's not for me to sit around and enjoy and get fat and overeat. I approach health differently. So as you're going through life and you're this fit person in your mind, you're believing and acting like that fit person, the person you want to become, the healthy person you want to become, you're going to take different actions in life. Maybe you're going to get the salad instead of getting cookies and ice cream. Maybe you're going to drink a water instead of sugared up sodas. You're going to make different choices in your life because you're that fit person. At least you're behaving like you are. You're going to exercise too, because that's what fit people do. That's what healthy people do. Now listen, if you're just starting out, you don't have to go work out for 2 hours a day. Just go for 10, 20 minutes. Do something. But behave like that person who is healthy, who is fit. The person you want to become. Make decisions like that person would make for your good health. It may mean eating less. When you normally go and get seconds in your meal, you say, no, I've had enough. And some simple tricks you can do is to drink a glass of water before each meal. That way you're already a little bit full, and so you can't eat as much as you normally would. But just behave like the person who is the healthy person. And this applies to anything else you want to be in life. Behave like that person. These three different types of individuals I mentioned, the righteous person who is living sin-free, the millionaire or billionaire, or the healthy person. These are all just examples of people who you may want to become. Hopefully you already have some of these. Hopefully you have all of these already. Maybe there's something different you want to become. That's all right. But just live like you are that person. Talk like that person. And as I mentioned, it's not about deception. You're not going to deceive anyone and tell them you have $20 million in the bank when you have $2 in the bank. This is about just talking in a different way, thinking a different way, using a different vocabulary. Instead of somebody presents opportunity to you, say, well, I don't have the money for that. As that millionaire, you say, I'm going to look into this opportunity further. And you do, and maybe you could find a way to get the money actually, who knows? Or maybe you'll decide, no, this isn't for me. But you don't want to make the decision strictly based on, I don't have enough money. That's what poor people do. That's what people who are in lack and want do. And that's not you. The righteous person doesn't just blabber out something and hurt other people's feelings needlessly because they're thoughtless. They think, they ponder their words before they speak. They make sure they speak as the oracles of God, and they speak words that edify the hearers. The healthy person doesn't go out and get ice cream and sodas and think that's a meal. They don't just lay around and watch TV all day. They have some exercise and some activity in their lives that helps them stay healthy, the healthy and whole people that they want to be. These are all simple things you can do. You can implement this in your life and become a better person. And what you will find is if you'll do this enough and you'll really put your heart behind it, your faith behind it, you will start to become the person who you want to become. And my friend, that's a glorious thing. I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.